crowds where I've been like, holy shit, these people should all just get in a bus and drive off a fucking ditch.
Have you ever worked with Gary Goldman?
Yeah, why?
You ever see Gary snap?
Yeah, he snapped on me, threw me across the fucking room on the Last Comic Standing. You don't know this?
No.
A lot of people want to know this story on Twitter, too.
I want to know this.
But what I want to know
was on
about
that year.
What I want to know about you is when you're on stage and you're a guy that you confide in me as friends, you'll go, it's a fucking tough business. It's a hustle. Maybe I should just fucking open a paint store in Topanga Canyon because apparently this shit ain't working out. But what I ask you, Eddie Ifft, when you're on stage and inciting a riot like you're at Altamont, isn't there a lead up to that where you realize, oh, this is where I make the entire audience angry, or I can go, hey man, just chill out, let's have a good time.
I've gotten much better with chilling out and just laughing it off, but I used to take everything personally. And if somebody would say, oh, you suck, or heckle me in any way, I took that as so personally, and it was like I would attack back. Like one night my friends came to a show, and 5 of my friends sat in the front row and clapped at all my jokes like they would go all together. And then they would laugh.
Like a Cosmos game.
Yeah, and they would laugh at my setups and not at my punchlines, and they were throwing the whole show off. And I kept telling them, I'm like, stop, you're ruining the show. You're ruining the show. And they were having the best time of their life. They thought it was the funniest.
They're gaslighting you.
Yeah. And so, I get the light. It's 40 minutes is over, and I've ruined the show. Or my friends have ruined the show. So I go to the audience. I tried to have them thrown out. The bouncers wouldn't throw them out. And I'm like, these are my friends. I'm telling you to throw them out. Throw them out. So I said to the audience, I'm sorry the show sucked. I apologize. I'm sorry. Did you have a good time? I don't know why I asked this. And one guy yells out, no, it fucking sucked. It's the worst show I've ever seen. And I go, well, I'm sorry. And he goes, well, you asked. And I go, and all of a sudden, I know it was my fault. It sucked. I snap on this guy. I go, how much did you pay to get in? And the guy goes, with everything? I go, yeah, with everything. He goes, I don't know, $45.
And you went in your pocket.
Got the money out of my pocket. I put it down. I go, there's your money. I'm sorry. And he goes, no, bring it to me. And I go,
oh, boy.
I go, fuck you. Come and get it. And he goes, no, you bring it to me. So I crumpled it up. I ran over to him and I threw it in his face.
Where was this now?
In a club in New York City.
So New York, London, there's no place you don't make people hate you.
So this guy then... And then I kind of snapped, and then afterwards I find the guy in the street, and I go, I'm sorry, man, I just lost it. My friends were pissing me off, and it wasn't your fault. I know the show sucked, and it was my fault it sucked, and you could hate me for all you want, and he was like, no, man, I understand. And he was really cool about it, but I was such an asshole on stage. I have not done this. I want you to know I haven't done this in about 5 years at least.
When I'm on stage and someone heckles, and there is when you headline, like you're the reason they've assembled, the heckling drops exponentially. Because everyone's there because they go, like, Jay Mohr's in town, I'm going to buy my ticket a month out. So if there is a heckler, they are like this interloper where the rest of the room goes, whoa, like you need to shut up because I bought my ticket a month ago at StubHub and we're here, this is it. Right. This is our hen party. We planned our entire hen party around Jay Mohr's show at fucking Gotham Comedy Club, which I'll be at in the end of October. So when I get hecklers, my whole thing is I go, oh, all right, be cool, man. Like it never dawned on me to go like, fucking shut up. I'll go, okay, man. Like I put my hand out almost like I'm talking to a child and I go, okay, man, chill out though, okay? And I say, because I don't want you to get thrown out. Because now it's off of me. Now they're like, it's all about the club, this big fucking corporation we're in together.
Yeah.
Like, all right, be cool though, man, because I don't want you to get thrown out, all right? And then they'll say something else, and I'll look over like 2 or 3 times, and like maybe the 4th time I'll just go, you have to shut the fuck up. And you get the applause, and then the 5th time I go, you got to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I deal with it now pretty much. But you also had the pleasure of dealing with a lot more fame than I had, where I was always just a guy stuck on the show.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, I have the luxury, the luxury of like you're the reason we came. Not do you want to go to the club and you happen to be there? Yeah. Let's go to the club because you're there. That buys you, and it also buys you probably 10 minutes of wiggle room for like new bits. like weird pauses and shit. They're just like, hey man, we think you're. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So Gary Goldman and we're doing Last Comic Standing, and I'm like the guy, like it's my show.
I was on that year.
And I remember, and I'm having a ball, and we're down to like the final 8. And I break balls now, but I used to break balls like East Coast, like because I came up in comedy, like Voss, Keith Robinson, like Opie and Anthony, that whole crew, like Norton,
they're
Colin, they fucking will take you out. Patrice, they'll fucking kill you.
I've gone home with my fucking tail between my legs so many times.
Yeah, so like when you bring that shit to the West Coast or anybody, like you sit down at a table and go, hey, so what's going on here besides fucking 4 assholes sitting down trying to eat and look like people sit there like they don't know you're like doing a character.
I scared people when I first came out here, and I'd be honest, and they were like, and joke with them, but like fuck with them, and
I like your shirt. There's no better way to say I'm never getting laid tonight. What a fucking dick. Like to me, that's just like what I would say to Keith. And Keith would go, oh, goddamn, fuck you, Jay Mohr, goddamn it.
God damn it.
Oh, goddamn it. But when you start, so I'm hosting and producing Last Comic Standing. And what I have failed as a human being at this time to realize, because I was so self-centered and such a douche, I guess.
I remember you flew first class. We were on coach.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of how it goes when you create the show. I mean, what the fuck?
Did you have to get on the same plane with us?
Yes, just to let you know. So I'm breaking balls, but what I failed to realize in my mind is someone's getting voted off of a fucking show tonight, and like they're totally stressed out about it. And I'm just showing up like, And Todd Glass and I always do like Don Rickles to each other, which lends itself to just going like, anyone's good. Gary Goldman's walking around going, look at me, look at me. Like nothing even makes sense. We're just talking shit and like, anyway, but gang. And Todd Glass and Gary Goldman are like fake wrestling, like doing like a fake wrestling thing, standing up, like kind of grab assing a little. And I literally walk up. I've been in the theater 4 minutes. I walk into the theater, I walk up behind him, and I go, it's good. Gary Goldman's in the corner going, how do I fix my hair? And like, I don't even remember what I said, but whatever I said, Gary just turns around, picks me up. Gary Goldman's 6'6", 240 pounds, and he just picks me up and runs the length of the stage, like not like a box kick thing. He just like spazzes out, and he's an enormous, strong man. He played tight end at Boston University. Yeah. And he runs across the stage holding me, and when he runs out of stage, he just throws me against the wall, like how you would just throw luggage, like, fuck it, I quit. And he leaves. And I'm like, I don't know what to do because I've never been attacked and just held. Like it was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also like knew it was interesting. Like I knew like you could talk shit to a guy and you go, I could fight. And I still to this day, like Gary Goldman and I'm pretty sure like if a fight just fucking erupts, I'm pretty sure I could chop him up. Pretty sure.
But when a tough guy.
But when he grabs you and he's got that like 2-a-day tight end fucking body of muscle, and he's like all of a sudden like you're in this anaconda man's arms, you go, oh my God. And it was so yes, I have seen Gary Goldman snap on me. And then it gets broken up, and then the wheels start going of, you know what? Fuck that. Even though I'm completely wrong at the time, you start going like,
how were you wrong though? You were just fucking around with them.
These guys are about to go on
I guess you're
television.
Right. I guess you're right.
And some of their lives are going to begin, and some of their lives are going to end. They're just out.
Right.
They're fucking Rich Voss.
Mine ended very early on that show.
Right, and then you're in England getting punched out at the Frog and Barrel.
That's exactly what happened. I went straight to England.
So Gary and I had words. And he apparently, I just never measured how much I had been fucking with him and teasing him relentlessly. And it just reached that point. And that was the night, that was like an hour before the audience got loaded in. And they go, and going home is. And he was like, I think one of the final 3. So then I go to his dressing room to apologize. Because I realize Barry Katz is the one that actually goes, this guy's about to get either his dreams fulfilled, or he's about to get voted off the island, and you come in and start fucking with him. I think you owe him an apology.
Why would you hurt a man's feelings?
I don't understand why you take that time to break balls. That's now you don't see Peter Engel running around and teasing people. I'm like, well, that's a fair point.
Can we talk Barry the rest of this episode?
Well, I'll tell you, man, it's unbelievable. So I go into Goldman's dressing room to apologize. And I open the door, I go...
And what did Gary say?
I go to apologize, and as soon as I open the dressing room door, he just throws a fucking water bottle and whizzes it past my face. So then I go crazy again, and I go, you motherfucker, you want to fucking do it for real? But now I know how strong he is, so I got to make sure I don't get the undertow. I got to stay arm's reach and more from him. I got to tap, 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 and move around and wait for that big right cross, because he is a fucking tank. And Alonzo Bowden is holding me back, and I'm not really fighting to get through Alonzo, because Alonzo's one of those guys when he goes, hey man, chill out. He's got this Yoda-esque, obviously I'm doing something wrong, because Alonzo's
the voice. It's the James Earl Jones voice.
Hey man, this is not CNN. And then Tammy Pescatelli is holding back.
Did you hit her?
No. Oh. Kathleen Madigan was holding back Gary Goldman. So we got separated, and then they did their shows.
I did not know this. I'd never heard the story.
Yeah, and it was completely my fault. And I went up to him. We were eating. We were in line at catering, and he goes, that's 2 times you because they wanted him off. He was going to leave the show, and I said, I'm wrong. You cannot have this guy off the show. And they're like, he attacked the executive producer and creator. Just shows you how skewed network thinking is. Yeah. He's out. And I'm like, no, he's not out. I'm out. I'll leave him alone. And I went to bat, and he knew it. And Barry, I guess, let him know because he was managing him at the time. And we're in line waiting for our lunch, and he goes, that's the second time you saved my life. But a month before this happened, Bert is at Gary Goldman's house, and I call those guys up, and I go, Bert Kreischer, I go, do you guys want to go eat lunch? I'm in Hollywood. And they're like, nah, we're just going to hang out in Goldman's apartment. And I'm like, and I berate these guys. You know what, you assholes? I finally get within a half-mile radius, and you can't even come get fucking lunch. And they're like, come on, man. And they're like, no. And I'm like, you know what, you guys? I'm fucking coming over there, and I'm dragging you out of the apartment. Bottom line is we wind up eating at King's Roadhouse Cafe for 40 minutes. When we get back to Goldman's apartment, there's fucking police tape around his door and the neighbor's door, and there's a fucking body with fucking holes in it.
Someone shot someone?
Someone shot and stabbed and tried to light it on fire. And Goldman's a guy he'll come out and go, I heard a noise. Just thought I'd see what's going on. So he thought it's just this stroke of me going I'm not taking no for an answer, that I saved his life. And then I saved his life by not having him jettisoned into space of purgatory of stand-up. But now you have me scared that we're talking about him. That next time I see him, I'm going to get thrown through a door.
No, he's delightful.
And he's got more jokes about fucking cookies and treats than anybody. And I've grown to love his stand-up.
Oh, I love his stand-up too.
So we're at lunch, and this shows you I did have a Tupac in me that you had in England. And he says, that's the second time you saved my life. And I go, third. And he goes, well, and we're holding fucking trays with cod and brown rice and shit on it from a caterer. I go, third. And he goes, what do you mean third? I go, when I didn't just fucking kill you in front of everybody in the theater. But I know his hand has been, he already has 7 cards in his hand. He can't trade him in anymore. He can't just kick the shit out of it. He would be a real man if he did. So, I feel bad for all that. But since I see Gary Goldman stand up, someone put a tweet up of him talking about a disc man, and it's the funniest clean stuff.
I've seen that joke.
It's fucking brilliant.
He is.
So when have you seen him snap?
I saw him snap, and I was at the Ha Ha Club over in the Valley. Have you ever done that?
Lancashire and Magnolia.
And he's doing it was just a shitty night when we all had first moved out here, and he's up on stage, and some girl is on her phone, and she won't get off her phone. She's just having a conversation.
Wow.
He goes, will you shut your phone off? And she doesn't. She keeps talking. And he goes, I asked you to shut your phone off. And she's like, no. And I'm sitting there with my girlfriend at the time, and we're in the audience behind them because I'm about to go on a couple after. And Gary goes, I told you to turn the phone off. And he just starts snapping on this
You
girl.
think he's kidding when he starts, right?
Yeah, because it gets
He's
elevated.
the nicest guy.
And he's going, you put the whore in horrible. And he's just yelling at her. And my girlfriend looks at me and goes, this is completely wrong. This is terrible. And I look at my girlfriend and I go, no, it's not. That
She'd
bitch
turn her
deserves
fucking phone
this.
off.
And I'm like,
Yeah.